All right, Shalom. Kohalo, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim V'chakudash. This is your brother Zakar Yahweh, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. Salakia. And shalom to the Akim out there. Shalom to the hopeful elect, I should say, of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. Salakia, it's been a long day. But to all you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, all right, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Shalom. All right. Hey, man, I was listening to this video, you know what I'm saying, the lesson, beautiful lesson from the beloved elder Malcolm, you know what I'm saying, he was going into this this whole untold story, you know what I'm saying, of Edomite on Edomite crime, you know what I'm saying. So the name of his lesson is Edom, Terror on Edom, while putting teen takeover in the headlines. And you know damn well when they say teen takeovers, you know what I'm saying, that's going on in the mainstream news right now. All right. They're only showing Jacob. Okay. They're only showing Jake. Why? Because they're setting up the narrative and getting ready to pounce. You know what I'm saying? So they have to prepare the public. They got to prepare the masses, for them to run shot on you Jakes, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, by taking away the rights, taking away all these things that have kept Jake nourished throughout this time, throughout this captivity, by taking away the jobs. You've got hundreds of thousands of Jakes, you know what I'm saying, specifically women who have been losing your jobs left and right, man. You know what I'm saying? These benefits that they're taking away from you, I mean, hey, it's all over the place, man. I was listening to Elder Ashiyar. He was going into that, man. You going lament for the teats. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, all right, the point being is that they're setting up the narrative to come against you Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? They've already started with the northern kingdom. All right, now they're jumping on to the southern kingdom. You see what I'm saying? But the point of the lesson that the elder was getting into is that the untold story is this whole Edomite on Edomite crime. You know what I'm saying? That's just not being reported. All right. He showed one he showed one Edomite demon. I mean, oh my goodness, that's a freaking demon. Took this one child, you know what I'm saying, an infant, by the legs, slammed his head to the door. I mean, my goodness, man. And then got off scot-free without paying a dime. You know what I'm saying? Without paying a dime. You got to watch this video, man. This is, oh my goodness, man. You know what I'm saying? I watched the whole thing. It was very edifying, man. All right. Subscribe and be edified. This channel is GMS Maccabean Spirit 144. All right. One of the things, however, that he mentioned in his lesson was the Edomite on Edomite crime that's going on right now, specifically in Ukraine. Okay? And nobody is reporting on this. Nobody's reporting on it. Okay, and that's the that's pretty much the brunt of my lesson here today. Okay, so without further ado, I want to get this started in the book of Matthew. All right. The elder had alluded to this in the book of Mark. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 20. Chapter 12. Salakia. And please bear with me. I'm very tired today. But this is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. It says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" Okay, and this goes deeper than just Ukraine against Russia. You know what I'm saying? Europe against so-called Europe against what? Against America. You know what I'm saying? Canada against U.S. Okay, it's more than that. Okay, you're looking at these Edomites that are going against each other. You know what I'm saying? Just on a global level. All right. As it says, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, but we're looking at a house that's divided here. All right. And, these Amalekites are Edomites just as much as these so-called European Edomites. They're just as much Edomites, man. They just happen to be from a different tribe. Okay. They just call themselves JOOs, which of course they're not. Okay. They are not Israelites. They are Edomites. All right. Hebrew Edomites. They're not Hebrew Israelites. You see what I'm saying? But what's hot and heavy in the news over in Eurasia is this massive attack that took place. All right. They're calling it what it is, which was a terror attack by the Ukrainians. Okay. But nobody's saying anything about it in the US. So let's get into this here real quick. Bear with me. All right. So this is from RT News. All right, RT.com. It says Rick Sanchez, my boy Rick. Okay. That Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? You got some very few reporters that still do their jobs, you know what I'm saying? And they do it spectacularly. You know what I'm saying? You got Rick Sanchez, you got Ben Swan, you know what I'm saying? He's on Instagram, all right, doing his damn thing, man. Shit. All right. So you still got journalism out here, you know what I'm saying? It's still kicking ass. Uh, you just got to know where to find them, unfortunately, because they're not going to be in the mainstream media. You see what I'm saying? In which I also believe Ben Swan may be a Jake as well. All right, but that's besides the point. It says Rick Sanchez slams the BBC and CNN over the college massacre site. No show. Okay? He says, how can they call themselves journalists when they cover one story and completely ignore another? The host of RT's RT's Sanchez Effect has said. All right. And it says CNN and the BBC. And let me, before I even read this any further, all right, that's another thing that people are not pointing out. All right. People are not pointing this thing out, man, because apparently they're saying that this was done by drones, okay, having targeted this school, and all they got to say was there was military inside the school, okay. Now, doesn't this excuse sound very similar to what we saw earlier this year over in February? You see what I'm saying? All right, these jokers targeted a college, all right, and completely destroyed over 20 women, 20 young college women. You know what I'm saying? So why is this a reoccurring theme that we're seeing here? All right, because this seems to be a trend here. Because what did we see? All right, the first strike that took place in Iran was an elementary school full of young girls. Okay, and what did they say? They said that there was first, I think first they said that the Iranians had attacked their own school, and then when it came out, oh no, this was a military action that was done by the United States. Then they said, oh well, it was because there was military personnel at the school. Okay, it's the same ploy that they use. It's the same plot that they use against Gaza. You know what I'm saying? Them small hats, them Amalekites. They said, "Oh well, we had to bomb that hospital. We had to take out that school, and yada yada yada, because there was Hezbollah." You know what I'm saying? So or Hamas. You see what I'm saying? So it's this it's this theme that just seems to be prevalent amongst these Edomites, man. All right, and this is a tactic that these Amalekites use. And if you look carefully with these Ukrainians, all right, Ukraine is mostly comprised of Amalek. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember that Ukraine was once called Khazar. Okay, and before these Edomites called themselves JOOs, okay, in years past, centuries past, they were known as Khazarians. All right, Edomites in the land of Khazar. You see what I'm saying? So it says CNN and the BBC should have visited the site of a deadly Ukrainian drone strike on a college dormitory in Russia's Lugansk People's Republic if they say they distrust Moscow's narrative about the attack. All right, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you say that you distrust what's being said in Russia concerning these attacks, well, why don't you go over there and do some investigative journalism? You know what I'm saying, of your own, and see for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It says U.S. journalist Rick Sanchez has said Kiev struck a teacher training college dormitory in Storoblesk with several waves. God damn, several waves of UAVs on Friday, killing 21 people, most of them teenage girls, and injuring 65 others. Sanchez, who used to work for MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News, and now hosts the Sanchez Effect program on RT, was among some 50 foreign journalists from 19 countries who visited the site of the attack this weekend. CNN and BBC rejected the offer to send correspondents on a trip to the LPR at the at the invitation of the Russian authorities. All right, so Russia was inviting them. Hey, man, you don't believe us? You come over here and you check them out. You know what I'm saying? You check it out. See it for yourselves. Right? It reads, the U.S. journalist said that he came to Storoblesk and saw for himself that the Ukrainian claims that there were Russian military installations near the affected college and the dorm were false. I don't believe the Russian Foreign Ministry, right? I want to hear it from the people there. And that's why you come here. The BBC should have come here asking these questions. CNN should have come here asking these questions, he said. According to Sanchez, it was frustrating to see the Western media ignoring the attack on the Russian dormitory and only focusing on Moscow's retaliatory strikes against Ukrainian military targets, which included the development of hypersonic intermediate range or Orshnik missiles. All right, because that was the retaliation that they performed. As I'm looking at another article here, Orshnik strike was a retaliation for Kiev's terrorist attacks. All right, it says the Russian military has commented. Excuse me. The Russian military has commented on its massive overnight response to Ukraine's massacre in the Lugansk region. Russian forces launched a massive strike overnight against military targets in Ukraine using intermediate range hypersonic Orshnik system and Iskander ballistic missiles. Kizal and Zircon hypersonic cruise missiles, air to sea and ground launched cruise missiles, as well as attack drones. The strike came after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered the defense ministry to submit proposals for a response to a Ukrainian drone strike on a teacher training college dormitory in the Lugansk People's Republic, which left 21 people dead and 42 injured, mostly teenage girls. All right. So that was the response to this attack from Ukraine. Okay, it says, how do you legitimately say I am a journalist if you don't cover one story but you cover another story? He wondered. RT senior correspondent Murad Gazdiev, who was among the journalists with whom Sanchez discussed the decision of the BBC and CNN not to visit Storoblesk, insisted that it was a statement on the part of the Western outlets. That's powerful wording. They basically said, we aren't interested. We're only interested in any potential civilian casualties on the side that we support. The side that we don't support, screw them, Gezdiev explained. Okay? And that goes to show, all right, that these devils are not, they're never fair. You know what I'm saying? They're never fair, man. All right, you have to be balanced. You can't be a respecter of persons in judgment. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get that precept real quick. All right, bear with me. All right, let's see. So this is Proverbs. Okay, Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 23. It reads, these things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. All right, it is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. See what I'm saying? Proverbs 28 verse 21. To have respect of persons is not good. For a piece of bread, that man will transgress. You see what I'm saying? So simply, if it's not our side, then if it's not casualties on our side, then we won't cover it. You know what I'm saying? That's not journalism. Okay, journalism doesn't take sides. You see what I'm saying? Journalism just documents the truth and reports on it. You see? But um, let's go to Psalms real quick. All right, I didn't want to make this long, man. Like I said, I'm very tired today, so let's get right to it. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. It says, "He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." Okay? And while they're out there in the media, what I'm saying, in the spotlight, trying to project to the world that they're uh, uh, this moral superior. What I'm saying? What's really going on behind the cameras is a much different story. You know what I'm saying? A far different story. Okay, here it is. You got the Russian president, and we the prophets. Just to make this clear, we the prophets, we don't choose sides either. You see what I'm saying? We don't choose sides. We simply, all right, we simply go into prophecy, and we marry the things of what's happening in current events with the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? To edify the sheep. But you have the Russian president sitting here telling you that there are U.S. labs that are in Ukraine, biolabs, all right, working on all types of obscene experiments inside these labs. You see what I'm saying? And nobody bats an eye. You see what I'm saying? Nobody reports on it. Okay? They even brought their findings over to the United Nations. You see? And there was never anything done with it. And then lo and behold, you got Tulsi Gabbard, okay, a week or so, I believe it was a week or so, after she began investigating those labs over in Ukraine. Roughly a week after she began the investigation, here it is, she resigns. You see what I'm saying? All right. You can claim a coincidence all you want to, but it can only go but for so long. You see what I'm saying? And for so far. But yeah, man. War is in their hearts, man. Okay? Their words can be softer than oil. All right? Smooth as butter. You see what I'm saying? They can say whatever the hell they want to on the cameras, man. But behind closed doors, man, there's some straight up demons. All right? So, that's pretty much it, man. I didn't want to make this too long, like I said. So this has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I pray this lesson has been edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.